The curse of the Shmeemobiles has struck again. It wouldn't be a road trip without something going wrong, and this time around, it is super complicated. I'm in Florida with my Ford GT that is shipped all the way over from Las Vegas, but my Mustang Dark Horse isn't exactly getting here as planned from Maryland, where I last saw it. You already know it. When my friends Ben and Phil went into the garage to start their 1,000-mile journey, they quickly discovered that one of the tyres was completely flat, and that poses a few problems. Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Let's figure this one out. Welcome to Florida. The weather is beautiful and we're here with my friend Alex, Myexoticars, who has not only the Tesla Plaid, but some very nice supercars in the other garage, including the Aventador SVJ you might remember from last year when we were in SEMA, the Lambo Taxi. Well, this time around, it's decked out for Christmas, and we'll maybe take a better look at what that means later on. So my Ford GT had been for a couple of things towards the west. After doing Miglia Warm-Up in the USA, we'd taken it to the Ford GT Owners Rally in Scottsdale, Arizona. There were about 100 new and old GTs together for some amazing drives through the beautiful scenery out there, but also to drive on track at Apex. After that, we drove up to Las Vegas for the SEMA show this year, where there are some amazing cars that were on display. This I kept out to take it for some shots around town. The plan then, which went to schedule, was to load this up with Alex and his friends' cars to bring them all the way many thousands of miles across the country here to Orlando, Florida. Simultaneously, I had left my Mustang Dark Horse after the Miglia Warm-Up in Virginia with my friend Ben up in Baltimore in Maryland. Unfortunately, however, after doing a run a couple of days ago to check all was well before driving it with his friend Phil, Oxman Garage, down to Florida, disaster struck. And when I talk about the curse of the Shmeemobiles, if you've been following for a while, you will know that this seems to happen quite often. In fact, earlier this year, this very car got a cracked windshield, which thankfully the guys at Blue Chip very kindly helped out with, and it now has some protection film on it as well, which has definitely saved the day since. But not only that, the biggest and most frequent thing that seems to happen, especially over the last year or two, are punctures. I have had so many flat tyres from nails, not things that are easily repairable. For example, earlier this year, the AMG GT Black Series in Norway with a very hard to find winter tyre. We had at winter the Pura Sangue, again, 2 in one trip, 2 nails on the same road trip to Italy and back. We had last year, when we had been at SEMA after filming the SVJ Taxi, driving up to visit Strad in Utah, in fact convoying with James, the Dark Horse got one itself. And that was after having already changed the tyres because I had kind of shredded up the first set. So needless to say, I'm a little bit experienced at tyre issues. But when Ben and Phil called and said, we're ready to go, but there's a problem, not ideal. It would be rude not to talk about some of the other cars that are here at the moment, right? Some we've seen before, like the SVJ with all of its Christmas lights, which if we're still going when it gets dark later, I want to show you that. And in a second, I will tell you the story of the Dark Horse. But up above it is the GT2 RS, very cool, older model. Then we've got the Hurricane Super Trofeo. You might remember seeing that one before. The crazy thing with that Lambo race car is somehow it is tagged. It wears a plate. It can be driven on the road. Down below it, though, is when you buy a big picnic table and you get your car with it. This is Sir Puffer's AMG GT, which is so wide, it starts to make the Lambo look kind of narrow in comparison when they're under the lifts like this. So the Dark Horse, right? The guys were planned to do one hit all the way, as I said, about 900 miles to drive down the east coast of the US from Maryland all the way through past the Carolinas, Georgia, through Florida to Orlando. When they went out and it showed 0 PSI and walked around and saw a nail right by the outer tyre wall, it was that moment of, how on earth can we possibly figure this out? Well, emergency rescue, because we could either book some transport last minute for many thousands, we could delay everything by them having to get some tyres right there, and they were pretty low anyway, so we'd like to replace the rear pairing, and they're quite an unusual size because I changed them to the Cup 2s. They're very wide, but only 19-inch wheels. Or do we just come up with an emergency solution and hope and pray and cross all of the fingers that it was going to work out? And that's what they did. So Phil has some experience, went to get a plug kit, which could then be used for this temporary repair, basically. A kit that's made for radial tyres, but to give an emergency fill, but not to do anything stupid going forwards from there.
Luckily, it is not all the way in. It's pretty easy to get to. So I'm going to use some wire cutters. See how long this thing is. There. Oh, looks like it's laying out its last little bit of air. So now, let's get that out of here. Let's use the tire repair kit reamer. And the hole is right here on the edge of the tire, right here. Luckily, it's super easy to get to and it's on the bottom. We are all the way through. So what we have here is the plugs themselves and the tool to put them in. So this is like a needle, just a big needle to go into the hole in the tire. And then what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of the sealant in there just to try to do everything we can to seal that hole. And then we will push it in and then pull it out. And that's why this little cut is right here. Heat this back up a little bit. So now let's see. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Put on 33.
So air compressor is turned off. We'll go get some water real quick and spray this on. Make sure that there is no bubbles coming from it. Just want to clean it up. And the tire should wear it the rest of the way down.
After doing all of that and getting it done properly, I have no idea how all of this works. They then started the journey and continued, cracked on, made their way, made lots of progress, loads of updates as they made their way through the night, in towards the morning, in towards the crossing at south of the border, then onwards all the way through to eventually arriving here. Bang on cue, look what's over there. The Dark Horse is arriving. We also have a 991.2 GT3 RS right here, the GT, and they have made it. Mission success. Don't rear end the GT. Could you imagine? Welcome.
What's up?
Imagine if you had a successful journey.
Yeah, and then
you
just ran
ended
into
it.
the GT, right?
Come on, tidy it up, pull it through. Ben and Phil, who have done this marathon journey to bring this thing all the way, they are reunited, back together. Uneventful?
Uneventful.
I love that you're wearing a Bucky's hat.
I had to get a Bucky's hat. Oh wait, one more thing I got to. Here. We had to make it a little more American. There you go.
How to get the Bucky's
You're gonna want that back.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the key. While the GT3 RS is gearing up to head off, the tyre has survived. That is the big thing. The tyre is in one piece. That's actually really nice in Guards Red. We'll see you later. Oh yeah, we can literally see where it's alive. That's what matters,
It
right?
is. It made it.
That's the main thing.
900 miles or so.
That's actually quite funny to think. Those tyres basically dead. Well, they're certainly dead now. They're not going to be doing...
Yeah, they're dead.
I should probably stop filming Cybertrucks here because they are genuinely quite boring. They are everywhere. It's probably the 10th I've seen today. Am I driving a rental car?
Yeah, you
Do
rent
people,
this, right?
People probably do assume it's a rental car.
This is, yeah, you rent this. It's Turo. It's a Turo.
It's a Turo.
No, there's not an ad for Turo.
Doesn't Turo have like a price cap? So, I don't even know.
Do I look like I work for Turo? I work at Bucky's. Come on.
So you very kindly, when we arrived in for the rally for Miglia,
yeah.
you kindly unloaded both of these.
Yes, and transported them to the down the street to the
down to the
resort.
hotel. Yeah. Had them together, and at the time there was no intention that you would then end up driving this. How is
900 miles to Florida in
Casual.
15 hours, 14 hours. Thank you, Phil, for the co-driver assist.
No problem.
For everyone to understand, this came about because I was literally trying to arrange transport, and you were like, "Well, we could kind of drive it."
It'd be cheaper for you, and it gives us something to do, and it's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
And how about the weather down here?
Well, I think I need some shorts because we just came from like 20-degree temperatures, and before we left, before we found out about the flat tire, it started snowing. So
Oh, you left from the snow?
We were freaking out about the
It was
snow.
more
sleet than snow.
So you're already probably having a little worry about the fact that you're on Sport Cup 2s.
Well, not just Sport Cup 2s, and before we were aware of the flat, we looked at the tread and went,
It's not the best.
it's not the best. So it's probably good we're replacing these.
I gave you a tire that's...
You gave us a challenge. We accept it.
Wait, let me have a look under here. Yeah. They need changing.
They do badly. Very bad.
Good thing we've got a solution to that now, an accelerated solution.
Yeah, very accelerated, and time-consuming and stress-inducing. But we made
You're
it.
here, life's good now.
Life's good.
Dinner's on me.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you so much.
All good stories.
Yeah.
Had to have a
It
little
bet-
drama.
I don't know if it can beat Bucky's. We had that twice today.
I'm not sure if it can beat Bucky's.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
get reminded of that V8 burble and crackle. Right, we're going to take these two and head onwards from here. Are we good with the door? Yeah, we're fine.
Got full space.
No worries. Nice. Oh, right, sink in here somehow. Let's get this started. It was only right after the journey that Phil has had a drive, Ben is about to have a drive. Do you fit? Not really. Ford GT tiny cabin problems. But it's always quite fun actually to ride as a passenger because the passenger gets that view in the mirror. The driver can't see through like that. You comfortable?
Not really, but we'll make do.
Figure a plan somehow.
Okay, this is the plan. Are you ready?
You have technically briefly driven this car before.
Yes, briefly. I was a steward of this vehicle for a good 4 minutes on a public roadway. And the beautiful town of Middleburg, Virginia, who are very welcoming to the Miglia when we
absolutely,
received these cars.
because I hadn't landed yet.
Yes, you were in the air. So I received these cars from Autobox. Shout out to Autobox.
And they brought this massive truck through.
Down the narrowest road I've ever seen.
So you can enjoy it a bit more now.
Yes, it is auto shifting though, so
Yeah.
we'll put it in manual mode. So we're driving, this is a sleepy little town with just a main road. Everybody's outside eating dinner. It's a beautiful fall evening. And then, all of a sudden you just hear and this car drives by. And not only does this car drive by and it looks like something out of a sci-fi movie, but then you see this in the driver's seat because I don't fit. So,
Squeezed in.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. So you've accidentally rotated this
it's a
to pop
track
it into
mode.
track.
I don't want track.
You have to be stopped to do the drop of the suspension. I don't know what you're bringing us to, but there are people in like some kind of Christmas costumes.
Where is the lift button, Tim?
The lift button is down there, the bottom one. That one, yes.
Well, that's because we're going over a speed bump.
There are bubbles,
I like bubbles.
bubble machines. What? I'm taking a picture of the guy in the costume. He's taking a picture of the car.
There we go.
Where have we ended up?
In Florida's winter wonderland. There's snow machines over there.
I have no idea what's happening, but I'm all for it right now.
I'm here for it. We're getting festive in 70-degree weather. Should we put it in neutral and give them a
Go for
baby
it.
rev?
You hooligan, you. You found the downshift. No holding back. Sounds good though, doesn't it?
It really sounds good. The Quicksilver exhaust, if you have a Ford GT and you don't buy a Quicksilver exhaust, well, you're just missing out.
Can tell you're a salesman.
Me? Sell cars? No, I'm a transport truck driver, except I don't have a truck.
So?
You need this one driven back to Maryland, right? Because you can cancel the flights and it'll be
Yeah,
much cheaper for you. Right? Well, actually, the gas tank is the size of a thimble, so the gas fill-ups will cost you.
Yeah. I suspect also you would need some more tires because the ones on this aren't that good either.
All we need now is a nail, and it's the same situation.
Deja vu. We have made it. We're at Addis Tire Outlet, who have saved the day. The car is here, and I just realised that those rears, I'm a little bit embarrassed about this, but I'm going to show you in a moment. We do, however, thankfully have some brand new Cup 2s ready to go on. They managed to source these, get them in, ready for the car. That's a very welcome relief. But we're about to have some guests. Stay tuned. Right on cue. Check that out. Alex has arrived with the SVJ. Then we have our other friend with the Revuelto. Both of these have Quintana exhaust, by the way. And then we have the AMG GT as well. Nuts. These cars are all crazy. First wheel coming off, so we're going to be able to take a closer look at this, and I'll show you how bad it is. This isn't the worst one, but can you believe this used to look like that? Little difference, just a little bit, and of course, the patch bit. This is the one though, that's really bad. Yeah, I shouldn't have run that so long. That's kind of okay. I seem to do a very bad job of protecting myself from damaging very expensive tires. Obviously, this needed an emergency plug to get it here. However, I can protect myself and stay safe and secure on the internet with Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video. Welcome to Florida. A chrome lifted pickup truck, as you do. While an emergency repair like this can at least get you to the tire shop, quite frankly, it's not safe. And to be honest about this, I'm a little bit embarrassed about the amount of tread left on here, which is kind of lower than I would typically want to go to. Anyway, you can be protected online when you're browsing the web with Surfshark. Old ones off, new ones on. Don't think I've ever seen it being done so quickly, but those are well and truly for the scrap. Completely done. All the right equipment in here to make this as efficient as possible. While I'm waiting for the guys to finish swapping the rears, I'm always planning my upcoming movements. And that means making bookings, sending sensitive car registration documents and IDs, and often being connected to public Wi-Fi's. This is where Surfshark VPN steps in to make sure that the data is always encrypted, it's safe, and it's away from prying eyes. Well, one SVJ rolling out. The wheels and tires are back, ready to be installed on the car. But I guess we're going to take a listen to this heading off. Well, that sounded insane, but given I'm at it, by using the VPN, you can get access to the best deals. For example, if you're booking flights or a hotel, by removing geographic restrictions. There are also a host of add-ons. You can get access, for example, to the alert function, a breach detection system, which notifies you of personal data leaks. Talking leaks, kind of like when the air is coming out of your tires and the car pings up to warn you that it's happening. Time to get the wheels back on, get them in place, get them bolted back in. And down we go. So, nice. Car is just about ready. It's about to be time to get on the road. These things are going to be loud, but before we do, one of the best things about Surfshark is that you can use it on many different devices, including your games console. Not only that, there's no risk with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and using my link, surfshark.com/shmee, you get 4 extra months at the unbeatable price of only $1.99. What are you waiting for? Check it out. Make sure that you are protected like I probably need to be going forwards with my tires. For now, let's have some fun with these noisy things. Ridiculous. This is one of the world's first modified Revolters. Goodness me, that's a good tiny. And the startup with the hybrid system. Thank you. That was loud. So, Merc at the ready. We're going to step in here, get this started. What are we on now? Something like 13,280 miles. Right. It's convoy time. Let's go. I would like to say a huge thank you to the team here as we make our way out. Wow. I tell you what's so funny to me. You can tell immediately that you're on new rear tires because there's that bit of slip from them. It's normal procedure that you just need to get a little bit of wear through them so they get ready to stick in and have a whole lot of grip going forwards. This is kind of quiet compared to those two though. Look at that view, the Skittles. The colours! Oh, where are we going? Talk about last minute change of direction there. This is probably about to get very loud. Case in point, if I go in this lane, are we going to get deafened by Revuelto? I might need to put my window up. Yes, I do. Oh my goodness. That is insanely loud. I mean, this car is loud, but comparatively it's so quiet. That's nuts! Listen to these. Although I've got to say again, a big thank you to the team here, Addis Tire Outlet. Not only did they get the tyres in, but they got them in fast. And that was pretty hard because there weren't many around in the whole country. But they managed it, they got them here, and they're now on the car, and we are good to go. Problem solved. Ready for a night of fun ahead. And you've still got to see those Christmas lights. You still got to wait until you can see the SVJ's lights on in the dark, because it is absolutely silly. I mean, this doesn't sound bad, but it's not an SVJ. Coincidental hurricane, I think. I don't think it was Or maybe it's somebody the guys know, but I certainly don't know who it is. Oh, don't hit the Revuelto. That's funny. What are the chances? The lights are on. You can't see much yet, but as it gets darker, the sun going down, just wait to see how cool that looks. Well, look at this. The colours are starting. The light is dropping. Got a little bit of a photo shoot lining everything up, but you start to see how cool the SVJ is. And yes, now I probably would have the Ford GT with us if I could have done, but it's back at the house. Look at this. Getting darker, getting crazier. And wait for the Revuelto. It's a different sound. This you hear coming, so you have that like crank. This just on instantly. I can feel the floor vibrating where we're standing at the moment. The lights, it's so crazy. Compulsory photo in front of the Christmas tree thing over there. Night is properly falling now, getting dark and getting crazier. This thing is just nuts. I mean, even down to doing the lights around the SVJ logo, I particularly like that, but all the shapes of the car, really, really cool and completely programmable. Very, very unique take on the Christmas lights, not just some lights from a tree wrapped around it, but properly made, properly done. I like the silhouette of the headlights as well. At night, that almost negative inverse of the color. Very, very cool. Off they go. We're going to head back to base in a second. But out roll the 3 absurd machines. I mean, just using the hybrid. The Dark Horse is parked up outside. GT, of course, tucked in the garage, but we're going to leave that locked up for the time being. The fun with this is ahead. I want to say thank you again to Ben and Phil for driving down the Dark Horse, to their friend Izzy, who was instrumental in inflating and getting it back, able to be run for the journey, to Addis Tire Outlet for the tyres that they were able to source and get installed so quickly, to Alex Myexoticars for storing the GT and looking after it. As you can possibly tell, I'm pretty exhausted, feeling slightly under the weather, gonna go and take a rest. But I'd also like to say thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. Don't forget the amazing deals available. Check out the information down below, surfshark.com/shmee. That's it for now though. If you like cars like this, check out the video right over there, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.